Amanda Schaffner from the Path of Least Revision here, and I want to talk about how to organize your writing files on your computer. And the reason that I am doing this is kind of twofold. One, I often say that you want to keep multiple copies of your drafts as you go along, so you can always jump back, and that means you end up with a lot of files. And I have actually also lost the Word document for my nonfiction book blog events. I have no idea where it is on my computer. And, you know, I don't want that to happen to you. So I'm going to kind of give you a tour of my writing files right now as they stand. These are the lessons that I've learned, basically. And so I'm going to share it with you now. One thing I do want to mention is that I'm using Dropbox, and you can kind of see that up here. And I have Dropbox installed on my computer so that it's just like another folder, and I have it installed on my laptop too. So I'm always accessing these files as they are, and there's less downloading and mess. So if you're not using Dropbox yet, I highly recommend it. Alright, so there are two really important parts to organizing your writing files. One, you want very specific names. You know, you want to be able to look at the folder name or the file name and know exactly what you're looking at, and you want to have some sort of hierarchical structure. So the way that I did it is I created a folder called The Hunted, which is my series title. And then you can see I have Book 1 and its name, Book 1.5, its name, Book 2, its name, and so on. Book 2.5 doesn't have a title yet, but it does have a character name, and so that's what I've used because that's what helps me remember what's in there. And then if I go into Elusive Memories document, you can see here that I have a few more files. Let's make this bigger. So I have a release party photo, and I actually just put this on there so that I could access it from my laptop. But I have my Scrivener file, and I basically leave this alone because if you mess with the Scrivener file, then it's harder to open, so I just leave that. If you aren't using Scrivener, you know, maybe this would be your draft folder, and I do a lot of preparation and like character bios, outlines, that sort of thing all goes in Scrivener. And so if you aren't using Scrivener, maybe you might want a file for pre-writing and that sort of thing. But I do have, because this is finished, I have a final versions folder, and this has Elusive Memories as a Word doc, and that's related to the PDF for the print version. I have the Kindle version, and I have Smashwords. In Smashwords you upload with Word. And now you notice it says Elusive Memories with Tug, and that's my shorthand for the unexpected gift. So what this tells me is it's not just my copy of Elusive Memories, but it's Elusive Memories with a preview of the novella that comes afterwards. So again, I'm being really specific with my title names so that when I open it up, I know exactly what I'm looking for, exactly what I'm seeing. And then I also have revisions, and you can see here that I have quite a few things. My Scrivener file, I think this is where I originally wrote it, which has nothing to do with what I ultimately called it, but I have these drafts, and I originally called them Samara because that was my character's name and I didn't have a title yet. And then I have a beta folder, and here I actually have just the general beta, the one that I sent out to everyone, but then I also wrote the names of my beta readers, and when I got them back with comments, I saved it again. So if you go into this, one, you will see just Kelly's comments, and then I also have this one, which is all of the beta comments together, and this was my way of, always keeping track of every single piece, so that if I lost something, which happens, even if you don't necessarily hope that it will, you can always come back to it. And so that is how I structure it. Now, if you were just starting off and maybe you don't quite have everything planned out yet, I have here PNR UF series. I have no idea what it's going to be. I don't know if it's paranormal romance. I don't know if it's going to be urban fantasy, but in my mind, that's how I associate this project. So that's what I named it. And then I know that there are going to be 3 books. So I have book 1, 2, 3. And when I get to the point where I know more information, maybe I'm going to do it by character name, maybe I'm going to actually have a title, then I'm going to right click, I'm going to rename it, and I'm going to add in, the title. And that is an easy way of keeping track of all your files, without losing anything, because the last thing you want is to lose a document that you've been working really hard on. And you can certainly search your computer for them. That doesn't always mean that you'll be able to find it. And so this is an easy way of doing it. And remember, you want that structure, some sort of structure. I do series, and then I do book, and then I do revisions and drafts and final versions, and then the specific name, so that you can look at the file and you will know exactly what it is. And that's really important. You always want to know exactly what the file is without opening it up and checking it out, because that will save you so much time.